Boss Rush 700 day 6. So this is not a perfect comp. We've got Xaravan as a first boss and high Fel Anomaly and them casting Fel Ash a lot, which is just random, can still be problematic. But the comp that I'm using here is Arfus with Downward Dog, Bwonsamdi with Arena Contender, Medivh with Unstable Runes, Khadgar with Bitter Chill, Genn with Gilnean Strength, and I'm using Ship Spell on Rogers, but you could use these others. The Scout Spyglass can cause a little bit of trouble on Corrupted Ancient, because even though it clears those trees, sometimes it's beneficial to have the trees survive, especially if you hit for the Alliance treasure. Also, your artillery strike requirements are fairly high for this run. The Corrupted Ancient has 400 red hit points, so you either need 200 plus on Rogers or you need to hit the double. This comp can beat the Corrupted Ancient, though, in particular if you leave Medivh alive. So if you don't have the artillery strike requirement to reliably kill the Ancient, you can just kill off Arfus, Bwonsamdi, and Khadgar by the end of the fight, and then use Medivh, Rogers, and Genn to kill the Corrupted Ancient. So here we're hoping for a low Fel Anomaly. This one's a reasonable, like, kind of mid-range Fel Anomaly. So you could choose to reroll this and try to get even lower, or we're just going to go ahead and attempt it here. I like to swing Arfus at someone that's either casting a Fel Ash or a Demonic Slash, because when they're injured, they seem to cast this Demonic Slash ability more often, as they're trying to the AI seems to be coded to try to heal itself. So if you just try to put some damage on all of them, you tend to get less Fel Ashes. So to block the melee attacks, we're just going to taunt our Bwonsamdi. And they've got enough attack that our Arfus will die off if they don't Fel Ash the Arfus. So what you're really just hoping for here is that they don't Fel Ash your Medivh to death. Anything else is fine. And I also kind of prefer to hit the ones in the left 3 slots, because they're the ones that are going to come back out after the bounce. And having fewer targets casting Fel Ash in that initial triple is helpful. So now we're just going to run out these 3 here. And now with Bwonsamdi, you don't always have to bounce. You can use Deal of Vanity to redirect things to him if it's going to prevent a death on your Khadgar or your Medivh. Okay, so we did get a double Fel Ash, so we can't get our Khadgar high enough HP to survive that. And it's going to do 318 damage. So I want to Hearthfire. And I would like to... I guess I can't bounce because there's too many Fel Ashes, so I'm going to redirect to him. And he's going to have enough hit points to survive both of these. So I'm actually going to taunt my Medivh to tank this melee hit. So a little different line of play here since we didn't get all the melee attacks coming in here. If you had more melee attacks, you could just immune and do a bounce this turn to cover your Hearthfire. You could also choose to do a root and then Hearthfire on a future turn, but since I got double Fel Ash, I didn't want to just let those like kill my Khadgar. Okay, so we got triple melee now. So we can just root that. And I'm just going to try to get them all damaged. I want to get a bird out here. Start ramping some damage. Okay, we got 1 Fel Ash for 318 crit. So I'm going to buff him out of range of that. Our Medivh is already out of range. And our Bwonsamdi would die. So in case they target Bwonsamdi, I'm just going to use this binding contract here. I just want them all injured because their AI does seem to like to cast the healing attack when they're all injured. Okay, so as you can see here, we have triple healing attack now, which is good for us. And now we have a deal available again, so we have another out in case something bad happens. I'm just going to Mage Guard instead of getting a bird out here. Because I want him to be able to survive Fell Lashes. Two Fell Lashes. Okay, that's not great. And our Medivh would survive that one Fell Lash, since the Hearthfire is going to buff him. But I may need to deal a Vanity here. So we will lose Bwonsamdi if we Vanity. But he'll at least tank 2 this way. I could try just buffing like Medivh instead, but that leaves some of it up to chance as to what they targeted. So I'm not gonna go with that option. This is an unfortunate number of Fell Ashes. Now I'm just gonna bring out Genn so that he can buff hit points with his summon. And now we're at the mercy of the RNG, pretty much. On my previous run, I was much luckier than this. I had a lower Fell Anomaly, and they cast far fewer Fell Ashes. But we can still maybe make it through here. So I'm just going to buff my Medivh. And so you may have noticed I'm targeting like the highest hit point ones a lot. That's because there's 2 more on the bench anyway, so trying to like eliminate one isn't really going to do anything for us. So I just try to damage them kind of evenly. Okay, at least there's no more Fell Ashes this turn. Try to get some more HP here. You can also try to just race them, just do Arcane Rifts, or try to get birds out. I'm going to try to get this killed off, but it's going to take it to do that. I don't know if we'll be able to get Khadgar big enough to tank another Fell Lash, but we can try. Okay, no Fell Lashes. So I'm just going to keep buffing him, because now we probably can get him big enough. So I'm going to swing with this and make a new one. You also could try to get rid of your counter rune. They will Fell Lash the counter runes sometimes, though, so that can effectively work as a taunt for you if you get fortunate with that and they don't just spam cast on your Khadgar or something. Alright, so no Fell Lashes again, that's great. So at this point I could go for Arcane Rift, but we've got 2 more guys coming out here still that are going to be full health. So I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing. Alright, no Fell Ashes again. So I am going to want to kill off this Khadgar, so I'm going to stop buffing him. But I'm still going to kill this off so we can make board space. In case we do need to like heal up our Medivh or again. If I had paid more attention, I could have killed all of those that turn instead. That's fine. Okay, so we do have 2 Fell Ashes, so you can kind of see that AI at work here. This one's injured, so it's trying to Demonic Slash. These are not injured, so they're both Fell Lashing. But these are only going to do like 600 damage. Like 640-ish. So we can get Khadgar out of range here. and I don't really care if other things get hit by it. I don't even have to Blizzard. So that'll put him out of range. And I guess we'll kill that off with that. And crit here. The Blizzard's still good because it'll ensure that they're all injured. So they're more likely to cast the heal instead of Fel Ash. Okay, and now that we're getting down to a single target, it's fine if he ends up dying. I actually want him to die now. I have to be a little bit careful because my Rogers is blue, so once we're down to the last guy, I don't want to get my Rogers killed off as well, so let's see here. It's going to do 1,000, or a bit like 1,200 or something. I think we're still fine here. Hopefully this Fel Ash kills Khadgar. If not, we'll just nuke him with a bird or something. Alright, and now I just have to be a little bit careful. I could have also tried to summon a bird, like kill Khadgar myself and summon a bird in his place so that we didn't have to bring Rogers out. That would have also been an option. So we got a double melee attack and no more roots here, so we have to be a little bit careful. Let's see. Just want to kill one of them. So that does like 200-ish. Or we can just kill both of them at this point. So it might be a little bit trickier if you have lower stats, but if you roll for a low Fel anomaly, then you should be able to do it even if you're substantially weaker than I am. And you can just take longer with your Khadgar and stuff. For this fight, obviously you would just take Artillery Strike and that wins you the run. I'm going to take for the Alliance here though, and I'll demonstrate how you can fight the Corrupted Ancient as well. And at the end of this fight, you probably do want to kill your Medivh off. You could beat Dragonbone Golem, but you probably want to keep Khadgar alive as well if you were going to attempt that. And I already killed him off, so... at the end of this fight, I am going to kill my Medivh off, because I don't want to try to fight Dragonbone with this team. And then we'll get rerolls on both of these guys. So, on this fight, he basically spams his 7 and 8 speed ability for the first, like, 6 or 7 turns, and then he starts using Double Strike a lot. So you can just pass on the beginning turns. You don't have to do anything. If this is low enough on your Nature Anomaly here, you can survive this. So this is only going to damage one of my targets. So in my case, I can heal my counter rune up to 177. So if I do this, I can go ahead and act this turn if I want to. But there's not really anything great to do on turn 1 anyways. So I'm just going to pass here. And also, as you can see this from the silver border on the Beastly Beauty here, this does not activate the counter rune because it's not considered an ability. So these metallic borders are just summons that are not abilities, while this bird is an actual ability. So I'm just going to get a Genn summon this turn. Pass. And we're not going to act on these 8-speed turns. I also only want 1 taunt in play, so I'm not going to make a second one. I'm going to wait for either a 7-speed or the 2-speed double strike. And just to demonstrate, I'll go ahead and pass turns until he starts double striking. Even though I could just taunt my counter in here. Okay, so now he's double striking. So at this point, I'm just going to act slower than 2-speed, so I'm going to get a bird out here. And you want to have space for a taunt. So if I use this, it's going to lose the taunt from my Beastly Beauty here. So if I'm trying to like ramp my Rogers, I need to make sure that I kill this off if I want to do that, so that I have space to make a new taunt here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I don't really need to do any of this stuff. I could swing here, but I'm not really get much benefit out of doing that, so I'm just going to pass Rogers this turn. When Rogers is more ramped, that would be a more worthwhile attack, so I'm going to wait to do that later. So we got the double attack here again. So basically the idea here is, even if he uses the 8 speed, you can just let that 8 speed be countered, because these also act at 8 speed. So as long as you have a taunt in play, all of these guys swinging at you will just hit your Genn taunt. So you can just pass on the 8 speed turn, it gets countered, all of those treants swing into your taunt, and then that protects your Arcane Ward. And you can also put a Mage Guard taunt on this Arcane Ward for a little bit of additional safety on these 2-speed double attack turns if you want to get it buffed up. So I'm going to swing my For the Alliance at this treant here. And I don't really have to make a taunt, but I guess I might as well. And he's going first, so we're going to let him get countered. Okay, so he's doing the 2-speed again, so I'm just going to Everywhere Worgen and swing. And then we'll get the damage going here. Just make sure if you do remove the taunt using that treasure that you are able to kill them off if your Genn was like really big or something, or you got a low attack anomaly. Okay, he's doing the 2-speed again. Guess I'll do this, and we can start hitting the Corrupted Ancient here. And you could use the 5-speed attack there as well, if you don't have the treasure. Okay, so here's the 8-speed. We don't really want to take this hit, although we could survive it. So I'm just going to pass on this turn. And keep in mind, you can summon a Genn summon during these turns if you need to. So that gets countered, and then our taunt protects us here. Be a little bit careful when these start getting injured. You are going to need to kill them off and resummon them so that they can... When the treants start getting really big, you might run into trouble if you spawn too many treants in a single turn. So be a little mindful of how much your taunt can handle as they start to grow. And you can just hit him fewer times if you need less treants as they get bigger. Because we don't know what he's going to cast next turn, so you always have to work with the assumption that he could be casting the 8-speed and you have to pass. So, you know, if all these add up to more attack than you have hit points on your taunt, then one of them might get through and start killing off your Arcane Ward or something, and then you can run into problems if the nature anomaly is high. So just be a little bit careful with that. I'm fine with 2 of these getting through since I have enough hit points here. And you can also just kind of ramp Arcane by shooting treants and stuff, or even your own guys, and then do bigger hits that spawn fewer treants. That's another option. And it's fine if you get rid of your taunt, since you can just do this Genn summon and pass if this were an 8-speed turn. So you'd still be safe as long as your taunt's big enough to handle all the incoming damage there. So we're just making a taunt, and since I have the For the Alliance, I'm going to shoot at the boss. If I didn't have the For the Alliance, I'd probably just shoot at a Treant, though. So that I didn't spawn a Treant just to do like 50 damage with my Medivh. Okay, so we got a heal here. Guess I'll just do that and kill that off. He's getting quite low now. Alright, and now, I don't want to make a taunt because I want these to just hit my ward for a little bit while I kill my Medivh off. I'm going to just keep that ward alive. We'll ramp our spell damage. And the next turn we should be able to finish it off. So hopefully I don't get punished and miss Artillery Strike. Oops. Countered myself. Hopefully I don't get punished and miss Artillery Strike since I passed Artillery Strike already. We get 2 rerolls here though, so the odds aren't the worst. Oh, come on, gimme. Alright, well, that's a failed run. So I sacrificed my 175 renown for you guys to show that fight. But that's how you do it. Just hit your Artillery Strike either the first or after the second fight. And you should be all set. And then back to the good farms on day 1 and day 3. I've already got my check mark, so I'm fine with that. Just going to go back to farming here on day 3. So good luck, and make sure you get plenty of renown before you lose these nice farms.